Oh man. Oh man. All right. All right. We're good. I think we are. I think we're good. Get this out of the camera, Tim Black. Hey people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. How you feeling? Yeah. You in the house? I'm in the house too. We're both in the house. Before we get started, guys, let me make sure everybody can hear me out there. This is the internet. We have a humble studio, and my tech sucks. Yes, I know I'm the tech. All right, let me check and make sure they can hear me on YouTube. What's up, YouTube people? YouTube in the house. Charlotte Brent. Charlotte Brent's a new member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. What's up, Charlotte? How you doing? Good to see you. Who else is into his house? Richard P. Flub Links. All right, I don't know about that. Just called me a spook. Hey, what's up, Karen Mitchell? Yeah, we can hear you, Tim. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. Someone get that guy referring to me as a spook out of my chat room. I'm just kidding. He can stay. He can stay. Seriously, he can stay. He's probably just hadn't been around a lot of black people. Hey, Karen Mitchell. Hey, Berned out one. What's up, Silva? Ingrid Bergman. Larry the Truth. I'm gonna take a break tonight. Nah. Scumocratic suck. Give it up for Larry the Truth. Larry, you are consistent if nothing else. Donald Mixon and Tobin Summers and Fry Puff and Ebony Fry and Elder Millennial and A. Mayers. Invisible. Invisible said he can hear me, or he or she can hear me all the way from Australia. From the land down under. What's up, Elijah Johnson and Curtis? What's up, Leah Gog? Oh, Spook said it's my nickname. So you can see right there, Spook, it's going to be one of those nights. You know what I mean? Spook said, I wouldn't call you Spook. That's what they call me, man. You know? That's my nickname, Spook. Spook. Come on, man. Guys, we're going to have to just love each other through all of this, through these rough patches that we're going to go through, guys. It's got to work together on it. All right, Heidi and M. Oz and the whole crew, man. Please share this on your social media. Lena Who says, hey, Tim, Australia, here too. Love your show. Thank you, Australia. Man, I got all of Australia watching me right now. This is dope. All two of you. You represent all of Australia. So whatever I say, you're co-signing that shit. So let Australia know that you are riding for Australia. You're representing right now. All right, guys. I'm gonna come back, but I'm going to go to Facebook and make sure they can hear, because that wouldn't be cool. What up, Facebook? How y'all feeling? The platform that takes all my content and don't give me nothing for it. What's up, Uli? What's up, Ginger? What's up, Billy? What's up, Evan? I got it. What's up, Janie? What's up, Sherry, George, and the whole crew, and Karen Bridenthal? Let me scroll this thing down here. Billy's in the house, and Leanne's in the house, and Sherry's in the house. Sage, Neil, Leslie, Dolores, and Sarah. Man, we got a nice squad out here. Danielle, what's up, Danielle? We got a nice group of people on Facebook right now tuning in, man. And it's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody can hear me. Sherry says, yes, we're hearing you. Perfect. I thank you, Sherry, for your feedback. Now, buy me a beer. Come on, man. Get the beer going. Guinness. Somebody said, Tim, you were drinking a Blue Moon. How dare you drink a Blue Moon? Real brothers drink Guinness, my dude. Like, dude, I think Guinness was like overhyped, man. It's not as good as people make it out to be. It's just real manly. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a manly drink. Guinness. Then it's thick and, and it's, I'm going to leave it there. But it's, you know what I'm saying? But I prefer, I got this, lately I haven't been drinking any beer anywhere. What are you talking about? It's supposed to be about politics, Tim. Is this the craft beer show? Yes, it is. Tim Black's craft beer show and politics. Watch them steal it. Watch them steal it. Somebody's going to steal that craft beer and politics. Tim Black's the branding expert. Some people are doing this, they have no branding skills at all. I brand everything. Like Tim Black Coffee, the Tim Black Show, Tim Black's Wolfpack. I be branding everything. Before we get started, let me let you guys know we have a Facebook group. The Facebook group is called the Tim Black Speak On It group. Joy and my main man Buck are the moderators and admins of the group. I pop in, I make posts, I say what's up, and we try to keep a conversation going. We're trying to build up a community over there. We're over 1,000 strong, and we just kind of kicked it back in, so that's great. We think we're doing fantastic. We're going to keep growing. I think by the time we get to election time, we really have a voice. So go on Facebook if you're still on Facebook. Some people still are, not everybody left yet. Find me, find the group, find the community. Tim Black's Speak On It group on Facebook. Also, if you want to become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, right now would be an excellent time to do so. Become a member because you get stuff like every full show, you get the full show in its entirety, and then you get special perks and stuff. And I'm going to be up in the perks game. I've been up in the perks game. If you are $5 a month or more contributor, you automatically get a Tim Black Wolfpack gift pack, which has bumper stickers and stuff, and I'm ordering more stuff. I got more stuff coming to add into the packages. So, great stuff, man. Do it. You're not only supporting independent media, but we're going to give you something for it because this is a two-way situation. I think people who give should get. That's what I think. All right. All right, guys, we got a lot to cover tonight, man. We got so much happening. I want to say... Look, so one of the things I wanted to do when I sent out the Tim Black gift packs is I wanted to write a note. I got these cards I put in, these postcards, right? And I write a specialized note to every person, right? And one of my favorite people, No More Donations, right, who I actually met when I was in, I want to say Pittsburgh. Was it Ohio or Pittsburgh, or was it Portland? Damn it, man. I've been a lot of places, man. I want to say Portland. I think it was Portland with him and Bree. Yeah, it was Portland. So, I met Bree and Uli and so many people, but I met No More Donations in person, right? So I sent him a note, man. Plus, he helped me. He contributed to my PC fund. So I write this long thing, right, on the postcard. Can you believe I put it in the wrong package? Instead of him getting his postcard, my man Bruce L. got his postcard. I got their postcards in the wrong bag. And I was blaming my wife. I was like, you did that. She's like, no, I put the addresses on the outside of the bag. I just thought you put them in the right bags. I didn't double check your work, baby. You must have. Because it got to his house. I was like, yeah, it got to his house. She's like, yeah, so that means somehow the wrong card got in the wrong bag. But the addresses on the front, they weren't. They were printed. They were written on the bags. So, man, this woman, man, I'm telling you, my wife just totally just humbled me even more. I'm already humble. I was like, oh, no big deal, yo. Who cares? It's all love. That's a long story to say. If you got the wrong card, I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me because you got the wrong card. I love you. I was trying to thank you personally. I just didn't think about the logistics of doing so. I got to make sure I put the cards in the right bags. They go to the right people. See, this doesn't happen when you have a digital download, but there's no heart in the digital download. I feel like if we brought something, we handled it with love, we physically put it in something and actually got off our butts and went to a post office and paid to have it sent to you. I think that means something. And I think it's dope, man. I know when people send me stuff, I feel a certain kind of way about it. So become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack so you can feel love too. Feels nice to be loved. All right, Tim, what's the show about? Hope it ain't gonna be about your damn Tim Black Wolfpack, TYT, fake ass TYT Wolfpack. No, man, it's not about my Wolfpack. There's a lot of wolf packs. Ain't just a TYT. There's the one with Sammy Davis Jr. and that guy who smoked and drank cigarettes and sang and stuff, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and somebody else. It was a lot of wolf packs. There was a wolf pack in the bachelor party, they was a wolf pack. Act like, oh, because Jake and Anna got a wolf pack. They're the only wolf pack could ever be. No. We're not a political action committee, man. There was a wolf pack in that show that used to come on Showtime where there was the wolves and the vampires and stuff, Blood or something. They had a wolf pack. They can't have a show on Showtime with wolves in it because Anna and Jank. Shut up. People like, Tim, what are you talking about? I don't know, man. I'm talking about this shirt I got on. That's right. That's right. My No Joe shirt. No Joe, no Joe, no Joe. No, Joe. We can't vote for you. No Joe. No Joe, no Joe, no Joe. Your memory's out the door. No, Joe. No. All right. Shirts available at the Tim Black Gear Shop. Just type in ttlmedia.spreadshirt.com. All right, so I'm going to get to it, man. I missed you guys. I didn't have a show last night. I got extra energy, you know? I've been going to the gym every other day, doing 2 miles plus working out a little bit. You know, I'm feeling better, you know? I'm feeling good. I'm sore as hell. How your forearms hurt? What can you do for forearm pain? You know, that's bad, man. All right. Let's see. We got, let's get this party started. I know a lot of you were very much depressed and distraught when you got the horrible news of what's going on in the DNC primary race. Many of you contacted me and said, Tim Black, I can barely get out of bed, man. I'm so depressed. I'm so down. I feel so disheveled. I don't know if I can go on, Tim Black. I feel like it's all over for me. All I can say is I feel your pain. I felt the same way when I found out that Kirsten Gillibrand dropped out. If a tree falls in a forest, empty forest, did it really fall? All right, man. Here we go.
Hey everyone, I wanted you to hear it from me first, that after more than 8 incredible months, I'm ending my presidential campaign. I know this isn't the result we wanted. We wanted to win this race. But it's important to know when it's not your time, and to know how you can best serve your community and country. I believe I can best serve by helping to unite us to beat Donald Trump in 2020.
That was Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, of course, dropping out of the presidential race yesterday. Gillibrand's senior aides told NBC News that she decided with her family to end her bid after she was unable to secure a spot on the September debate stage. So, Caddy, that debate stage has taken shape.
Yeah, as 10 candidates now qualified for the September debate, it's all set. As of now, Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Julianne Castro, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Young, still 10 of them. They'll all take the stage for the first time on the same night in Houston. Billionaire Tom Steyer, there was some question about him, remember? He fell one poll short of qualifying after spending nearly $12 million on advertising to boost his campaign. Reverend, how does it change things, Kirsten Gillibrand getting out? If she's going to endorse somebody, could that shake up the race further when she does?
Well, I think she brings a certain constituency, even though she didn't ever get to a certain level in the polls. But I think what really is going to be interesting is now with the Houston debate, you're going to have everyone on the stage. We have not seen Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden on the stage. That's going to be interesting. We've not seen all of the major players together. And what the interaction is going to be because we saw in the first debate it was Kamala Harris kind of gained. We got going after Joe Biden. The second debate, Gabbard went after Kamala Harris and kind of hurt Kamala Harris, who's never kind of recovered. So who are they going to target at this debate, and what do they stand for? I think what really is coming down, because we're no longer way early in the process. We're now almost Labor Day. What do you stand for? Why are you running? Are you running to be a player, or are you running to represent a certain train of thought and a certain way you want to drive the country? And I think they're going to have to start defining that in the next debate.
Yeah, and they're going to have difficult defining it, Reverend, with 10 people on the stage in the debate. I mean, you're going to get an average of, what, 2-3 minutes total, some of the candidates who will be there in the stage. The thing that strikes me, Nick, is that the whole debate process with all the candidates in the field, and there were a lot of them, there still are a lot of them, is the Democratic National Committee made a mess of this. I mean, there wasn't a better way to pull these debates off, to have 6 people at a time appearing one night. I mean, it's a mess.
Well, they tried to make it as democratic, small d, as possible and give many people a chance to rise. These kind of 1% and 2% candidates had a bunch of chances to rise over 2% in the poll. In the polls, they failed. But it did deprive the whole party of a chance to see their main contenders truly on one stage at the same time and hash it out. And the party kind of needs that. So there's some really big debates happening here. You know, for Gillibrand, I think a reason she had trouble is that her brand, the thing she was known for, you know, sexual assault, the military, women's issues, Me Too. I think there isn't a lot of differentiation among the candidates on those issues. They're all on the same page. It was hard for her to push through on that. But there are big issues about the economy and race and how to organize the government and reform and corruption that these candidates are not all on the same page as. And Warren and Biden and Sanders have got to be in the same place at the same time for the party to actually start to sort these things out.
Yeah. Oh, man, there's a lot in that segment, man, to talk about. You know, they talked about a lot of stuff, but what they kind of avoided, it seemed like, was talking about Kirsten. Why did anybody want to tackle the idea of Kirsten Gillibrand? Why was she even in this race? Why make it so open-ended like we're talking about everybody? No, let's focus on Kirsten for a minute. Let's do a deep dive into Kirsten Gillibrand. Some would say that she's an opportunistic, hollow candidate. All of a sudden, she became progressive when it became feasible to be progressive. Sounds a whole lot like Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton. At one point, she was one of those blue dog Democrats that got, what, an A rating from the NRA? Yeah, an A rating for the NRA. And all of a sudden, she went from bragging about shooting turkeys on Thanksgiving Day herself to being somebody saying, oh, we hate the guns, and the guns, get the guns out of here, and I'm super progressive, and I'm the most progressive person. Look, my point is, there can be a person who has certain feelings about guns, and I get that. I got certain feelings about guns, okay? I'm not as totally like, everybody give up your guns. I got questions about how that's going to work out, how you're ever going to be able to get all the guns away from all the people who have them. There are more guns in America than people. What you're really talking about is getting the guns, or stop giving people guns. The new people getting guns, because you ain't going to be able to go to house and pick up these guns. But that's beside the point. The point is Kirsten Gillibrand was all over the map on this thing. What we want is genuineness. And that's not something Kirsten Gillibrand has ever shown to be. In fact, it's the polar opposite of who she's proven to be. Remember when she went after Al Franken with no evidence at all because it was expedient for her politically to go after Al Franken? It made sense for her. Very calculating. Who does that remind you of? You guessed it, Bob. Hillary Clinton. Get it in there, Johnson. Take notes. Yeah, she was in the back writing down every one of Hillary's moves. She must not have watched all of the tape, but she would have realized that Hillary lost too. So she threw Al Franken under the bus prematurely. Now it's come back to bite her. She never polled higher than 1%. Did she even poll 1% in these polls? I mean, the fact that she was even allowed to be in these debates seemed a bit of a, white lady privilege to me. Because she pretty much sucked. Then we got waffling on issues, no genuineness, and even to underscore, she would make up stuff like, she'd been in politics, and had a microphone, and all of a sudden, after she threw Al Franken under the bus, and there was some backlash from it, then she said, well, I also think that Bill Clinton should have resigned. Well, why didn't you also say that like 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 3 years ago? Why are you just saying it now? It's to cover up your Al Franken mess, is what it is. So these are just some of the highlights, Bob, of why, or Joe, no Joe, no Joe. These are just some of the highlights, Joe, of why Kirsten Gillibrand is not a good candidate, why it's good for her to drop out. It made sense. It did make sense for her to run at all. And a little bird told me that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, might take Gillibrand's job. She might run against Gillibrand for the Senate seat there in New York. So, yeah, one would like to get back at home and do some business. Now that the Me Too bus has kind of run out of gas, you got to have something else to make yourself relevant. How about taking care of your constituents and being a genuine human being? A lot of political maneuvering going on. Not a lot of heart. Not a lot of heart. All right. Yeah, Al Sharpton said some things I agree with. Al Sharpton said, there's some people on the stage that need to define what they're there for. They're there for the same thing you're there for, Al Sharpton. A paycheck. Yeah, man, I think you lost the. If you, look, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say there was a time you cared about some of this stuff. Black people. Issues. I'm going to say maybe one time you were, but you have been you've been sold out so long, you have become adulterated, so a part of the machinery. Those days are long gone, way behind you. The fact that we got people like, people like Obama who used you like you were the guy, and all the others that use you, he's the civil rights icon. When people start calling you an icon, that's when it's time to sit your icon ass down. Because more likely than not, you have become a shell of your former self. There's been too many checks thrown your way, too many accolades, too much stuff. But that doesn't mean you're wrong about this. You're not wrong. What does people stand for? You're right. What do they stand for? Nothing. A lot of them, nothing. And why are a lot of them running? No reason at all other than to raise their profiles, other than to look for another job. Hell, Kirsten Gillibrand, she said last week, I'd be interested in being someone's VP. I wonder if she stopped taking donations at that point. She admitted, hey, I'm down to just call this a day, dog. I done rode this horse as far as it'll go. Someone's gotta put it down. Well, that's when you should cut off donations and stop taking people's money. If they were stupid enough to give it to you in the first place, But yeah, some people believe. I just gotta believe. She looks so much like me. Oh, man, God bless us. God bless us all. Barnacle said with 10 people on the stage, it's going to be hard for people to kind of get the message out. Then they showed what 10 people are going to be on that stage. What 10 people are going to have the opportunity to debate. And notably, one of those people missing from the stage was Tulsi Gabbard. That's pretty much a shame, too, because Tulsi Gabbard is a lot more interesting a candidate than so many of the others that are still on that stage. Not very interested in Cory Booker or Pete Buttigieg or Beto O'Rourke or Amy Klobuchar. But they're on that stage. So, sweeping through the world of progressivism, the world of, Democrat, liberals, people on the left, I don't know what you can call it. There's been a lot of conversation about Tulsi Gabbard. After coming back from serving in the National Guard, she comes back. Polls come out. Well, not the poll. I don't even know what polls they're using, but evidently she won't be making the third debates. And people are very much furious. Here goes Tulsi Gabbard having a conversation about it. Check it out.
The DNC is refusing to recognize as valid polls that would qualify you for the next debate.
Here's a situation. There's a whole bunch of different polls that have come out. The DNC has only recognized some of them as being qualifying polls for the debate. The whole thing gets a little bit confusing, and you've got to jump way down into the weeds of the numbers and the statistics. But I think the bigger problem is that the whole process really lacks transparency.
Right.
People deserve having that transparency because ultimately it's the people who will decide who our Democratic nominee will be and ultimately who our next president, commander-in-chief will be. And when you see that lack of transparency, it creates, a lack of faith and trust in the process. And I think this also points to a bigger issue and challenge that goes beyond the DNC and party politics is the government itself.
Right.
There's people who are increasingly losing that faith and trust in the government because they see a lack of transparency there. They see that we don't have a government that is of, by, and for the people. And really what they see is a small group of really powerful political elites, the establishment, making decisions that serve their interests and maintaining that power, while the rest of us are left outside. The American people are left behind. So these are the deeper-seated issues that I think it's important that we recognize, and that for me as president, that I would seek to change, that we'd actually fulfill that vision that our founders had for our country of having a government that is truly of, by, and for the people, and making it so that people can trust that our leaders are listening to them and making decisions not based on partisanship, but based on serving their interests.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Tulsi Gabbard talking about how she feels about the DNC and the polling debacle about her be able to qualify to be in the debates. And she's making a point there that the transparency, the lack of transparency, I should say, of the DNC is what grows this contentious this belief that there's less than fair treatment going on, and that could all be rectified just by having open communication, letting people know the rules, letting them explaining the rules, so at least people know what the qualifications are. Now there's an article by Jake Mercer written on Medium. He put out today. It's entitled "New Hampshire Pollster: Our Polling Schedule is Determined by CNN." And in that article, Jake quotes a pollster explaining how the process of what polls get included and what polls don't get included, what that really comes down to. It says the UNH Service Center is funded by grants and contracts. We have contracted with CNN during this primary cycle, as we have since 2000. Our polling schedule is determined by CNN and their polling budget. So it's not about the quality of the poll. It's not about the veracity of the poll. It's not about even who conducted the poll. It's about who CNN personally hired and paid as a pollster. Now, that was a director, Andrew E. Smith, who responded to the inquiry about the polling at the University of New Hampshire Survey Center. According to this article, Mr. Smith, a couple days earlier, told the Tulsi Gabbard supporter that they'd be happy, more than happy, to conduct a poll if someone was willing to pay $50,000 to run it. And that's a cost that usually CNN would cover for the poll. So if you got CNN paying for polls of the DNC, what is that? Yeah, I mean, how does that look? Now, I know the lay people who don't know much about our elections and weren't here for last cycle, maybe you're cool with that. But as someone who very intimately knows about CNN, the situation with them in 2016, about how certain things were done beyond the pale, such as questions being passed to the Hillary Clinton campaign. Questions for a town hall. Remember, Donna Brazile came on my channel and admitted to it. She did not deny it. A lot of people wanted me to treat her meaner, but she said exactly what we wanted to hear. Which was the truth? Yeah, well, I gave those questions. What was I supposed to say? Well, But the point is, after that type of activity that makes people pissed off, and you say, okay, we're going to clean up the DNC. We don't want any problems. Why are you, CNN, and DNC working together on putting together polls? Why not just hire another company? Why has it got to be CNN, dog? You got a history and a reputation. Look, man, hey, if something happened between your lady and this guy down the street that you didn't think was was proper, you everywhere within your rights to say, hey, the next time you get a flat, call me. That's all I'm saying. Call me. Don't. I'm not saying you did nothing. Well, I am saying I'm saying next time, baby, call me. That's all I'm saying. Keep drama down. But see, the DNC is so brazen. I don't care what you think. She's like, I call who I feel like calling. He there, his number. Your name start with an L. His name start with a B. Got his name first. Got a problem with it? That's you. Being self-conscious because I'm your lady and I happen to keep calling up the guy I used to be with after I started being with you. So, that's the DNC. No respect. We just do what we want to do because we own the party. We own the party. La-di-da-di. 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 But I want to go to another point. So, yeah, we're all pissed off about it. Before we do that, let's look at what's happening with Tulsi Gabbard because there are some people out there that are like, well, Tim, she just didn't make the polls, man. People just they're not really into her. Come on, man. Especially those Kamala Harris supporters. They're like, man, come on, man. She wasn't cute. You wouldn't care. She's not polling high, man. You just think because she's cute. Well, she's not cute. She's a grown-ass woman. Cute is something kids are. She's attractive. But she's also smart, brave, courageous, a public servant, a sitting congressperson, and a lot more interesting than Kamala. But, let's go to the tape, Johnson.
The DNC is refusing to recognize as
because it ain't about your feelings, it's about your numbers. The New Hampshire Democratic presidential primary, Real Clear Politics polls. Here goes an aggregate of the polls of New Hampshire. And this is what I'm showing you, dog. If you so would be interested in facts. Tulsi Gabbard here is right between Gillibrand and Steyer. This is a cumulative of the polls. 3.3%. All New Hampshire Democratic presidential primary poll data. That's right. RCP average. We got Biden with 21, Sanders with 19.3, Warren with 14.7, Harris with a 9.0, Buttigieg with 7, Gabbard with a 3.3. Gillibrand's way down there with the 1.0. She did make a 1.0, Johnson. Booker 0.7. No one's calling for Booker to get out. Castro, in fact, he's made enough to get in the next debate. How they do that? Look at O'Rourke down here 1.3 and Klobuchar 2.0. Andrew Yang with a 2.0. He made it. Look at Steyer. This guy paid $12 million to not even make it. I don't feel bad for him at all. Always trying to buy something. Rich dummy. So it's pretty evident there that there are people who have beef about Tulsi Gabbard not being in the debates. They may have a little something more to it than just how they feel aesthetically about Tulsi Gabbard. So I guess you can take that off the board because there's actual evidence. as in numbers that kind of demonstrate that she was polling pretty well. And that's with 2 weeks off, right? 2 weeks off of, serving their country that they didn't even want to talk about. I think if they would have talked about, I think anywhere, there's enough Democrats, because there's this fallacy that Democrats don't respect veterans. That's not true, all right? As the son of a veteran, I'm telling you it's not true. Though I am an independent at this point, I'll be Democrat probably when I vote. Got to do that. In Maryland, you have to register and unregister, or you can't vote. It's kind of how the system's rigged. But the point is this: Democrats do respect our veterans, and if the media would have highlighted the fact that Tulsi Gabbard was off the campaign trail for a good reason, like serving her country, I think she would have very easily in every poll, she would have got the numbers that she needed. But once again, it's about the polls they chose to use. The polls they chose to use. So I've been seeing a lot of people very upset about it. I put out a couple of tweets. I try to tell people, hey, I understand you're upset about it. I get that totally, right? I understand it's an emotional time for people. They're upset. They're pissed off. They feel betrayed once again. They're looking at the DNC do whatever they want to do. There was a clip where they were asking Bernie Sanders, I forget exactly how they asked him, but there was an opportunity for Bernie Sanders where he could have been like, hey, I love Tulsi Gabbard. Now, it wasn't that the person asked him, hey, what do you think about Tulsi Gabbard? He was like, ugh, God. Watch it. Hold on. Hold on. Listen here, Greg. Someone give me some prune juice. He wasn't like that. He did not voluntarily say, hey, Tulsi Gabbard's great. Instead, he said something nice about Amy Klobuchar and I think Elizabeth Warren or something like that. And that's horrible. I don't like it. I don't like that he did it. I wish he just said, I like myself. I like everybody. So good. I don't have any personal feelings about anybody beyond their friends. They're good people, whatever. He still get in trouble with some people. Don't say these people are people. Don't say anything nice about anybody ever, Bernie. But I agree. It would have been nice if he would have said something complimentary about Tulsi Gabbard. But some people will take it too far, as if Bernie Sanders, who controls nothing in the Democratic Party, is supposed to be like, yo, what's up with my girl Tulsi, man? What's up with her? I don't feel real comfortable right now, Bernie. You're getting very loud and upset. Well, I want to know what's going on with Tulsi. They expect Bernie to, tear up the place because of Tulsi Gabbard. As if he has any control over what the DNC did. If Bernie Sanders had any control over what the DNC did, they would have to stop stabbing him in the back. Don't you think? Well, she stepped down from the vice chair position. I don't think Bernie asked her to do that. Everyone does what they think they should do, which is what they ethically feel like they should do or what they want to do, and sometimes what makes sense for them politically. Let's not leave that part out. A lot of people leaving out that we're talking about politicians. And politicians aren't going to always do what we think we would do, though we're not politicians. And look, some people talking, really, please, dog. Please, you're doing things right now that benefit you. And you ain't doing it for grandiose reasons. You're doing it because you got an eye on a career or something, money or something you're trying to get. I've seen some of you. But here goes my bigger point, because all that can be argued and debated and people get pissed off. Here goes a point to that. In this clip where Tulsi Gabbard's talking to Tucker Carlson, who I'm going to get to in a minute because too many people, once again, are Tucker, Mother Tucker. Too much of that going on. I noticed something about this interview with Tucker Carlson and Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know if you noticed it or not. I noticed it. Tulsi Gabbard didn't call out the DNC too hard herself. She was like, well, it should be more transparent. She wasn't like, they robbing me, Tucker. These fucks they fixed it. They rigged it. I didn't hear her use the R word at all. She's like, it needs to be more transparent. We need to have more open dialogue. She was being very diplomatic. So let me get this right. I got to listen to people crowd my timeline, complaining that Berned didn't go to the house, get the gun, come back, shoot up the place, drag out the bodies, bury them in the backyard, dig a hole, bury them in the backyard, cover up the hole, get in the car, drive. I gotta listen to this. But Tulsi Gabbard also isn't running out to get the shotgun. Tulsi Gabbard's like, yeah, Tucker Carlson, it's like, they're just so, no transparency, just knowing people are it's fomenting division within the party because people don't understand what's going on. And I know very much the price of war, and I've seen this so many times. No words mentioned. No, look, guys, if we're going to talk, let's keep it 100. Let's be totally honest. No words mentioned of a rigged Democratic Party, a rigged DNC against her because she talks about regime change wars and who that threatens the pocketbook. So, hey, don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. Don't throw them. I know you mad. I gave you 24, 48 hours. I know you mad, you upset, you fuming. But stop blaming the wrong people. Blame the DNC. Blame Tom Perez. And stop holding Berned to some standard of how he has to conduct himself about this. You already know it's rigged. He called it rigged back in 2016. Did he say it got unrigged? I don't think he did. But it's the only game to play for him. I know we want him to go independent and all this other stuff. I know. Corrupt ass system. We got a corrupt system. We don't need to turn on one another. But if we want to keep it 100, we can keep it 100. I like getting views on YouTube too, but give me a break, all right? Tulsi Gabbard is not done. It's not over. I believe she's, obviously I don't want her to end her campaign, and she's not ending her campaign. She's going to keep going. She's going to keep doing what she's doing. So let's shift into what's next. Let's shift to what's next and how can we make it undeniable. That's where we got to be. Tulsi Gabbard got burned. Let's not forget who got burned last time and understand we know all too well what getting burned is, what it means, and we don't support it. Capiche? Capiche. Which should kind of go without saying, man. All right, guys, if after watching that, you're still there, I don't know if you're still there. People get so butthurt. Oh, I disagree with them. I think this. And, they get mad and stuff. Then they write long emails. I get pissed off. Hey, we ain't got to agree about everything. This is how I feel. I'm going to lie to you, man. I love you, but I'm too old to lie, man. I don't like coconut. Inside joke. Okay. We got more, though, because a lot of people, well, before we do this, can we do this? Yeah, let me go one more, then we'll do a station identification break. A lot of people love talking about Tucker Carlson, and I don't know if they love talking about him enough or not, but something about, let me try that again. This probably end up being a separate clip. I think it should be. A lot of people like talking about, or they have spent time talking about Tucker Carlson. And I get it, because every once in a while Tucker Carlson will say something that is dead spot on. He got that dead ass. Great comment, on point. Like the times he interviews Tulsi Gabbard and he allows her to, talk. And he doesn't smear her with stuff about Modi or Assad, or he doesn't allow her to have, be able to express herself. But they also are the times when Tucker Carlson's being more Tucker Carlson-ish. When he's earning his keep, when he's putting enough in the piggy bank of white supremacy in order to be able to have the moments where he's letting Tulsi Gabbard talk. See, I think some people get a little bit too enamored with Tucker Carlson. I've said that before. Case in point.
Left is now telling you and demanding that you believe that anyone who supports Donald Trump is a white supremacist and must be destroyed. Now, they're telling you that for political reasons. This is election season, obviously, and they want more political power. But there are other reasons, too, that they're saying this. Ever wonder why rich people seem the most hysterical on the subject? Ever notice that it's the highest paid people on television who are the most determined to convince you that white supremacy is America's biggest problem? Why is that? Simple. Every minute you're angry about race is a minute you're not thinking about class, which, of course, is the real divide in this country. Working class people of all colors have a lot more in common, infinitely more in common with each other than they do with some overpaid MSNBC anchor. And if you were allowed to think about that for long enough, you might start to get unauthorized ideas about economics. And that would be disruptive to a very lucrative status quo. So they whip you into a frenzy of racial fear so that it never enters your mind.
Okay. So I saw that somebody had shared this out, and they were touting, oh, Tucker Carlson's so spot on, man. Love this guy. Like, who else gets to speak with such honesty on a cable network other than Tucker Carlson? And I'm just like, okay, how do I address this? Because you're wrong. Okay, first of all, you're wrong. But let's go further than just say someone's wrong. Let's show them why they're wrong. And let's dissect this, dissect this a little bit. Break it down a little bit. This is how Tucker Carlson plays the game. He says something that is mostly true. He's right. It would be stupid to say that anybody who voted for Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Anyone who would say that is a complete idiot. It's a moron, right? It's, don't handle sharp objects. Don't procreate. No kids for you. That should be a rule with someone who would think that, okay? Particularly when we know a lot of people who voted for Trump voted for Obama and voted for Clinton. Like, you don't get a lot of people to vote for. You only get like one or two people. And some people are like, well, who's this Jill Stein person? Gary Johnson looks high right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with Trump because I hate Hillary. Like, so that person's not a white supremacist per se, not necessarily. Person could just be, had a lunch date, had to go, didn't have a lot of time to keep thinking about it. So he's right, but how many of those people are there? How many people really believe that anybody voted for Donald Trump is a white supremacist? I don't know about that. Okay, I don't know. So he sets up a straw man to get you going, yeah. No one said it. I don't know who's saying it. Who cares? Okay. Then he said, these are rich people who are saying white supremacy, is the biggest threat in our country. No, it's not just rich people saying it, but it's debatable if it's the biggest threat. I guess it wouldn't be a big threat for you, Tucker, because you're a white guy who happens to be rich. So I'm pretty sure no form of discrimination is really that big a deal for you, Tucker, which brings me to my broader point. This whole thing about racism, yeah, they use it to great effect in the Democratic Party. It's used all the time for even times when it shouldn't be used. I agree with that 100%. I know it, you know it, we know it, okay? And yes, class is a big issue. Being poor sucks. Dave Chappelle just had a bit about it where he said, hey, we're not poor. Poor is a mentality. That mentality may stick with you your entire life. It's a horrible mentality to have. Son, you're not poor, you broke. Which is much better because, a lottery ticket can change that. But anyway, the point is this, and so can a good job. But the point is this, guys. So we know class is an issue. But please, this whole idea, I think there are a lot of people call themselves progressive or something. I don't know what you call yourselves. But you think if we just say class is it, we can just forget everything else that's happened in this country. And stop acting as if Martin Luther King wasn't talking about class when he got shot in the head. When they killed Martin Luther King, what was he talking about? Class. And what did they do? They killed him. So maybe there are some people who don't talk about class because that's what gets you killed, Tucker. But some people do talk about class. Problem is, people like Tucker Carlson don't want to talk about race at all unless it's about immigrants and how they stink. Yeah, let's not forget that part. Which leads us right back to white supremacy, Johnson. So when you don't throw your backs out clapping for Tucker Carlson. Anybody who claps for Tucker Carlson too loud, starting to sound a little bit like a racist to me. Because Tucker Carlson very obviously has a lot of blind spots, and I don't think they're blind spots. I think it's strategic. I think Tucker Carlson ain't trying to do nothing but woo-in progressives who want to get as far away as they can. Because there's some progressives who are not comfortable talking about race. I know a lot of them. All right? I've met a lot of them. Oh, this guy's really great. I don't know about that. I could tell you stories. And they're wishing I don't. They're going, please, Tim, don't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing, dude. I buy a mug, man. Shut up. The point is this. Yeah, there's some NBC anchors that are horrible people. They're horrible people. They sell out. They lie. They conflate issues. They gaslight. They do the whole deal, man, okay? That's true, and they use race a lot. They use race as a means, as leverage, in order to scare the hell out of people in order to get votes. I see Joe Biden do it in every one of his campaign ads. I put that on display. I blow that spot up. I mean, he's talked about Charleston more than Charlottesville more than he's talked about what he's going to do for the economy. What kind of shit is that? You know? Everybody don't live in Charlottesville. Oh, the soul of America. And it pains me to my heart to see those kids out there with those tiki lamps beckoning back to a time when we were out there with our own. So anyway, Tucker Carlson's full of it. He ain't fooling me. I wish he would stop. I wish people would stop being fooled because he gives you a kernel of truth and then he piles on a whole bunch of crap. Tucker Carlson, when are you going to talk about the fact that racism does exist and it's been displayed so thoroughly in our prison industrial complex that the 13th Amendment meant slavery never ended. It just meant you had to go to jail. And that's why so many blacks been going to jail. That's not a topic that I seen Tucker Carlson ever tackle. So trying to make it all about class to me, like I said before, man, when they was lynching black folks, they didn't care how much money they had. Well, they knew they didn't have any money because they structured it that way, right? But the way that some black people get treated, and the way some Latino people get treated, the way some black people get treated, doesn't matter what how much money you got. And people don't look at me and say and know how much money I have. They just look at me and see black. They don't see my wallet. When they wear a wallet, and if they did, they were like, "Oh, he's poor." I would think that smart people would know that, but some people who think I thought were kind of smart, either that or just complete sellouts, and some of them are. And you don't have to be white. You can be Asian, too. Or some other, whatever color, Eskimo, or I don't know. It's not limited to one group of people to be a white supremacist. Moving on. Speaking of Joe Biden with the tiki lamps and the Charlottesville stories that go on and on and on, but before we do that, this is a Tim Black Show. It's paid for by you, and your bill is overdue. When can we expect payment? When can we expect payment? Seriously though, guys, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. You go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, or do it on Facebook or YouTube. It keeps this thing going. It keeps me having the ability to do this. We are in the process of doing some stuff with some sponsors and stuff. We're working on it. But and all I can do is promise you that whatever we do, we're going to be ethical in what we do. And we'll be transparent in what we do. Because, yeah. So become a member today and get your Tim Black gift pack, wolf pack. All right, back to Joe Biden, guys. This is, All right, so Joe Biden, I've been very critical of Joe Biden. I've been critical of all candidates in this race. Everybody's eligible to have criticism. No one's ineligible. No one's above criticism, not even your boy Tim Black. We all get it, whether we want to get it or not. But one person I've talked about a lot lately is Joe Biden. Hell, they even got a shirt called No Joe. It's pretty simple. It's kind of easily explained. I don't have a No Kamala shirt. Maybe I will have one. It'd be kind of hard to... This is just so tidy, like, no Joe. Very simple. Sounds like what... It's what Obama told Joe when Joe said he was going to run. Obama was like, Joe. No Joe. Obama out. You too, Joe. No, Joe. You too. You too. So I've been very vocal about Joe Biden being a guy who never went up in a poll. I don't know why people think it's going to go up. I knew he's going to drop. He's going to keep dropping. This is because Joe is not a good candidate. Never has been. He has won in Delaware because Joe always sold more of his soul. How much for the soul? I got a soul going for sale, what was happening to buy a soul? Buy soul, one soul going for the highest bidder. High bidder, Wall Street, want to buy a soul, buy Joe Biden soul, buy a soul. You want to buy a soul, got a soul going for, and what about the bankers? Bankers want to buy a soul, but about Big Pharma. Big Pharma want to go buy a soul, got a soul. Got it right there. $300,000 for a soul. Joe Biden sold to the worst corporations known to man in the back. Come up and pick up the soul you just brought. That's been Joe Biden's entire career. Not because he's an excellent politician. And forget what you heard about, oh, he's just so intimate on the trail. He's a schmoozer. He's a bad salesperson. You know that salesperson's always overly touchy, like, hey, how are you? Like, feel like you Mike Rappaport at the Cortino Mobley sideline situation. You got to see that to know what I'm talking about. Well, here we go. Here goes Joe Biden making a mistake and being Joe Biden.
Race for 2020. Frontrunner Democrat Joe Biden under scrutiny tonight for a story he often tells on the campaign trail about pinning a medal on a serviceman in Afghanistan. But there are questions tonight about how much of that story Biden got right. Here's ABC senior national correspondent Terry Moran.
For years, Joe Biden has been recounting a story of American heroism and heartbreak on the front lines, recently telling a crowd in New Hampshire how he traveled to Afghanistan to pin a silver star on a young Navy captain.
One of his buddies got shot, fell down a ravine about 60 feet. This guy climbed down a ravine, carried this guy up on his back under fire, and the general wanted me to pin the silver star on him.
And then a moving moment as Biden approached with the medal.
This is God's truth. My word is a Biden. He stood at attention. I went to pin him. I said, sir, I don't want the damn thing. Do not pin it on me, sir. Please, sir. Do not do that. He died. He died.
But the Washington Post dug into the story and determined Biden got the time period, the location, the heroic act, the type of medal, the military branch, and the rank of the recipient wrong, as well as his own role in the ceremony. Biden seems to have conflated several events. Kyle White, the serviceman he describes, an Army specialist, not a Navy captain, was actually presented with the Medal of Honor by President Obama in Washington, D.C. But the vice president did pin a medal on a different man in a different part of Afghanistan for a different act of valor, Army Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Workman, who tried to rescue a fellow soldier from a burning vehicle. Workman telling the Post he did say to Biden then, "I don't want it." He died. And Workman adds, Biden looked him in the eye and said softly, "I know you don't."
Terry Moran joins us now from Washington. And Terry, Joe Biden is responding to this story tonight.
That's right, Tom. He's in South Carolina campaigning. He told reporters there that, quote, the central point of the story is, quote, absolutely accurate, that a young soldier did try to refuse a medal Biden was pinning on him. Biden trying to make the argument there, that's what counts, the heroism and heartbreak, not so much the details.
you know, I remember this time I was driving to work one day, and was on this stretch of highway in Maryland called 202. And I'm driving, there's 3 lanes going northbound, there's a median, and there's 3 lanes going southbound. So I'm going northbound. And as I'm driving, I notice a car coming southbound. He veered across, he hit the center divider, the median, shot up in the air, landed in our northbound lane in front of us, and there was a car that he T-boned this car, and this car spun around, hit another car. I pull off to the right shoulder and get out my car, like, what the hell? You know, people are stopping, it's crazy, people putting out flares. Finally, the cops came, and they asked me, I stayed there the whole time, and, you know, turns out the guy who hit the median had a bunch of beer bottles and stuff in his car. No one was seriously hurt, but the vehicles were very damaged, and of course everybody was very shook up. The point of the story is that's not what happened at all. What happened was, Johnson, I was drinking myself. I was the guy driving in the car, Johnson. I was driving. I was drunk, and I hit a tree. And the whole point of the story is, you know, don't drink and drive, and yeah, that's what's important there. Doesn't matter if I made up shit and got nothing right in the story. Of course, I told the cops that it was the deer's fault. The deer was on something, and that's what caused that accident. And I just made all that up, but the whole point is, Joe Biden can tell a story, not get anything right in the story, and then tell you, well, it's the central point of the story is that I'm old and I'm a liar. No, it's not even that he's old. He's a liar. He makes up stuff. It don't have to be true. But he likes to call Trump a liar, and Trump is a liar. He may be the most lionist. He may even be the Lion King. But Joe Biden is a lying elf. I mean, he's something. He's a lying something. He's the Duke of lying. Oh, take the Queensberry. I bequeath to thee the Queensberry Township. Lion Duke Biden. All right? I mean, how could you get nothing right in your story? Except there was an officer, a vet who didn't want to... I mean, you're telling this story. So he just kept embellishing it to more effect, which is something I think a lot of politicians do on these campaign trails. You know, they just keep adding stuff. Put a little bit more of that in there. Put a little bit more pain in it. Yeah, a little bit more pain. Did that work out there? Well, add a little bit, a little bit more, sorrow. Put a little sorrow in that. Yeah, a little bit of sorrow. And give me a little dash of hope. Hope, a little bit of dope, hope. Yeah. And for good measure, a little comedy. A little comedy in that. Yeah. That's what they do. And look, at the end of the day, you may say, hey, Tim, man, who cares, right? If you are saying that, I would like to let you know I care. I think a lot of people care. They should care. You should care. Your only goal can't be, can we beat Trump? First of all, I don't think that guy who can't tell a story right can beat Trump. In fact, what he does, if a person like Joe Biden who continuously gets stories wrong, misplaces thoughts, misremembers, or whatever you want to call it, I call it lies, and need to sit his ass down, that person won't bode well against somebody who has any coherent ability and starts using that against him. In fact, Trump's already starting to use it against him. Why do you think this guy's going to win? See, you are in a bubble, and you believe most people care that Trump says you threw paper towels at Puerto Ricans. I think it was a horrible, disgusting thing to do, but most Americans don't care. You think that's enough to get him out the White House? I don't think it's going to be enough. I think you're going to have to offer people something that makes people come out and vote. People are not going to come out to vote just because you say, Trump mean, Trump, he told stories. All that's going to be nullified when he points over at Biden and said, well, Biden don't even remember what shoes he's wearing. He's got one brown shoe, one black shoe on. He don't know what, where are we, Joe? In the middle of the debate, he'll be like, where are we at, Joe? Joe be like, oh. That's not the point. Listen, the soul of America, the soul of our hearts and souls and the children's hearts and the babies that I kiss without their permission. The officer said, no, to take the medal. I didn't. He didn't survive. He died. They'd be like, get this. Look, my point is genuine. I hope that you get it. It's realistic. It's Joe Biden. He's a horrible candidate. And I didn't make it so. I remember 2008, before he had a chance to talk a lot, I think, hey, who's this guy? It's all right. Delaware, like, I'm in Maryland, like, Delaware's pretty close. I'm like, oh, that's all right, cool. Then he started talking, and I was like, that didn't make sense. Then he said something really foul about Obama. It was like, Joe, what do you think about Biden? Well, he's a good young man. He's good. He's clean. Whenever white people start calling black people clean, I'm like, as opposed to what, motherfucker? Like, what you trying to say? Like, what you mean? He's like, he's articulate. Oh, he's articulate. Oh, okay. Doesn't appear to smoke crack. Oh, see, there we go. I knew it. I knew it was coming. That's when I knew. I was like, Joe. But Obama knew that Joe Biden could help show up some votes with some folks who didn't feel so good about voting for, Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah. So that's what we got. Anyway, guys, so there we go. There's your Joe Biden story. Use it and do with it as you will. I should have spent more time on the Tulsi Gabbard people. Not the Tulsi Gabbard people, the Kamala Harris people. I just want to leave. I want to close tonight's show just by saying something to the Kamala Harris people. Listen, Kamala Harris people, get your brains examined, okay? Seriously, check in. Just get a CT scan. Listen, Tulsi Gabbard called out Kamala Harris. That's what happens. For you to applaud her being rigged out of the debates, that just goes to show that you're horrible people. And that your focus is not having a robust conversation, a real debate, right? I also believe that Kamala Harris never answered the questions that were posed at her. I think her playing elitism, hey, I don't need to answer. I'm a top-tier candidate, came back to haunt her ass. Because, see, most Americans don't like that type of arrogance. We like our people to be humble, even when they don't need to be humble. We like them to be humble because it's something that reminds us that we aren't so bad, that we don't suck so much when our famous people are humble. And for her to be like, well, I don't need to answer her. I don't need to answer her damn questions. I'm polling how I'm a top-tier candidate. Who is she? She in the bottom rung. She's a French candidate. Who cares about what she thinks? Well, now you a French candidate pretty much. I mean, you polling down there with Buttigieg. You on the edge with Buttigieg. You down at the bottom. So here's the thing, guys. You weren't upset when Kamala Harris called out Joe Biden, but you are extremely butthurt that Tulsi Gabbard called out Kamala Harris to the point where you don't even want her to be in this race. You think it's cool that she was robbed. I think you are backwards, and I don't know what your ethics, I don't know if you know what those are, but that should propel you to say, hey, you know what? In fact, you should have been holding your candidate to a high scrutiny, like answer that question. Answer those questions. Those questions are an opportunity for you to prove yourself. In fact, a real ethical politician who is asked a question in a lopsided way or asked a question that you don't think is accurate, that's an opportunity for you to express yourself and say on the world stage what you really stand for. So you got to take it and turn it on its heels. Unless you can't do that because you really don't have a good answer. You don't have a real retort because what they're saying has too much truth in it. Too much truth. You can't even combat it. I think some of the Harris fans woke up and they realized that. And I think that the whole idea that Tulsi not, no party or whatever, that little hashtag they had going about Tulsi Gabbard not making the debates, I forget the name of it. We'll put it on the screen in the video. I think that was fabricated by Twitter. I don't think there were that many people who really were tweeting about that. But if they were, you're idiots. And you're hypocrites. I think it would have been great to have anybody call out Kirsten Gillibrand before she left. Maybe that's why Kirsten Gillibrand left, because she wouldn't want somebody to bring up the stuff I brought up tonight in front of the world on her. She'd rather be able to control the narrative and do little interviews and get the questions ahead of time and continue life as a senator instead of having somebody, Tim Black, bring up all her skeletons from the NRA. Anyway. That's it. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black at Night on Instagram. It's been great. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you soon. Now let me go to Super Chat and see if people got something to say. Oh, and I know they do. Oh, I know they got something to say. They're like probably saying everything right now. Everything's being said right now. People are saying, Tim Black, what's up with that, Tim Black? Learn the truth about the Scumocrats. And we have Pop Reality. Bernie can speak more truths after the nomination. There you go. And Bernie can speak the truth after the nomination. That's very much. Thank you, Pop Reality. Thank you for the super chat. Amen says, can't stay long. Thank you very much. I love you, Tim. Never worn. I love it. Thank you, Amen. I appreciate the super chat. Jason V said, Ro Khanna retweeted and shared a blatant smear piece about Tulsi today. And it's disgusting. Bernie's campaign needs to learn solidarity, and Roe needs to go. I don't think Bernie Sanders' campaign. I don't think that they control what Ro Khanna tweets. Just saying. But that's bad if he did that. And I can ask Ro to come on the show and explain this tweet. Yeah, I know Ro. He's been on this show before. Tobin Summers said, stuff happens. You mean that about Joe Biden not knowing, telling that story, making up stuff? This song, Raleigh says this song, I don't know what that means, but hey. Amen says, Tulsi not an option when I was polled. What? Said Tulsi was not even an option in Iowa. Yeah, they want me to do an Assange thing. Lord have mercy. Tobin Summers says, upset is an understatement, but I'm a Republican, so I don't count. I love Tulsi and Yang. Hey, that was Tobin Summers says he loves Tulsi and Yang. I feel you. Riley says, no Warren shirt. No Warren. Okay. We'll make it work, man. We'll make it work. Sounds like I get you there. Who said, hold up, someone said, okay. No Warren, I like that. It sounds like a sad day. I need my cup of Joe every day. You get your Joe, but not your Joe Biden. Have as much Joe as you want. Notary S says, thanks, Tim. Love the show. Thank you, Notary S. Thank you for supporting the show. Hard to have a show without people supporting the show, man. That's how it works. Thank you for what you do. Yeah, man. That's it, guys. I love you. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Oh, Scott Santins. He is a UBI guy, right? Universal Basic Income guy. Because I did a video about Andrew Yang. I talked about Andrew Yang and UBI. Something came up. I forget what it was about. So we talked about Andrew Yang. And Yang people were like, Tim, what's about Scott? Get Scott on the show. And I was like, okay, just so happens Scott was already following me. I was already following him from way back. So I just hit him up. I was like, Scott, you want to come on? And he was like, yeah, man, I'd love to come on. So Scott Santins will be on the show Thursday. all right, to discuss UBI and give us a breakdown from his vantage point. Yeah. So, and you should have seen, there are some people that are funny. Everyone should not use email. Everyone should not use email. All right? So, they don't know how to make their case. If you bring Scott on the show, you're unfair if you bring. I was like, I've had other people on the show who talked about other financial stuff before. I've never had a UBI person other than Andrew Young on the show. But I've had other people on the show a couple of times. They won't come back. I'm not having them back on my show, but I've had other people on the show. But, you know, that's the thing about having your own show. You can bring on who you want on your show. If you don't burn bridges and ruffle feathers, you'll be able to go on other people's platforms. I'm not the only show. There's Graham Elwood and Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp and Nico and Kim and Jamar. It's so many other shows that you can go on. You don't need to be caught up here. I wouldn't want the coat of personality to mislead you. Inside joke, y'all. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow when it's Freedom Friday, and it's on you because tomorrow you get to call up, you get to voice your mind, tell your story, tell me what storylines you want to hear about, what stories that we missed or whatever, and speak your mind about those opinions. Also, shout out to Laura from Alaska. Laura from Alaska, hang in there, sister. We love you. We care about you. Thank you so much. I got the mail by way of your granddaughter. I love you. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if not, I'm sure they will play it for you. They will give you a copy of the show tonight or tomorrow. All right? All right. Peace, y'all. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Boom.